कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Bharata, when he realizes from Kaikeyi herself, who proudly says, I have sought this kingdom for you, my dears. Well, in the process your father Dasharatha died without help. He has reached the same place where your forefathers have gone. My dear Bharata, your brother Rama has gone to the forest. He has not gone elsewhere. Take this kingdom. Rule, my dear son. While she said, Bharata hissed like a snake. He said, do you think are you fit to be my mother? Go drink poison. Go jump from the cliff. Hang yourself. Go rot in hell. Don't even go to heaven, where my father let him rest there for some time in your absence. Like a hissing snake, with full of guilt which was burning and cringing him from inside. He rushes to the inner apartment of Kaushalya, Ramamata Kaushalya. Now he goes and falls at her feet. He doesn't even have the audacity to face her. He was so guilt-proven. Falls at her feet. She asks him to rise. She says, Idam te rajyakamasya rajyam praptamakantakam sampraptam bata Kaikeya shighram kurena karmana. Bharata, rise, my dear son, rise, rise, rise. See, I think your mother has done a wonderful job of making your journey to the throne of Ayodhya thorn-free. Because one thorn was Dasharatha, your mother managed to kill him. The other thorn was Rama. She has managed to send him to the forest. Rise, Bharata, rise. Look at the sarcasm. Bharata couldn't stand this. My mother, she's self-centered. She is the Mata, you are Kaushalya. You know me. You have also misunderstood me, Mata. I'm choked in emotions, Mata. You are telling me that I am responsible. In case, very important juncture in Ayodhya Kandam, Bharata says, in case, at any point in time, had I ever thought, even at one corner of my heart or mind, that I should rule Ayodhya and Rama should go to the forest, had I thought, then let these narakas, let these list of hell varieties come to me. Let me incur the wrath and the papam, the sins of all of these acts. He lists down 24 such acts. Very important acts, which we will understand. It will give us a glimpse of how the society was that day. He says, let this papam come to me if I ever thought that Rama should suffer and my father should die. He lists down Yatu preshyam papiyasam. Yatu preshyam papiyasam. If you are working for people with no character, people who are engaged in immoral activities, they may engage in immoral activities. We are working for them, but we are working very sincerely. Bosses are doing immoral activities, but we are working sincerely. No problem, right? No. There is a papam for that. So he says, let that sin, let I incur that particular sin. Yatu preshyam papi yasam hantu badena suktam gam. When an innocent cow, we have just milked the cow, taken that milk, we have consumed that milk, turned it into curds and everything. We see so many videos, illegal kidnapping of cows. The cow, such a large cow, it will weigh at least 150 kgs. They will just crush it, tie its legs tightly, tie its mouth, put in a small casket. It can't move even a centimeter. They will stack such cows and they will put it in a tempo and take it. That is the milk we all consume. So, to that cow, imagine you have milked that cow and that cow is sitting by the corner of a road. Ideally, we should not have animals on the highways. It is dangerous for them. But imagine a small gully, a street where the cow is dying. And we go and kick that cow. Certain people get the pleasure in tormenting animals. You kick that cow. And that cow will feel a lot worried and it will start running. What sin that will come to a person who kicks a milking cow? Hantu padena suktam gam. Hantu padena suktam gam. To a sleeping cow, if you kick and wake it up, what will be the sin? Karayitva mahad karma dhrityamanarthakam. When you overburden your staff, your mates, man, female, whoever it is, overburden them. Do this, do that, do this, do that. As a human, everybody has a tolerance level. We can't do beyond that. We must understand. I am paying them. You are not owning them. You are paying them. That's all. Learn to respect their threshold. But if you extract extra work, trouble them, overburden them, that is also a papam. Karayitva mahad karma dhrityam anarthakam. Dhrityam anarthakam. That papam. Druhyatam pragyaha paripalaya manasya bhutani putravat. To a leader. In those days it was a king, today it is a leader who treats his country very well, impartially. To that leader who doesn't give much importance to his own family, not to wealth accumulation, who is himself non-corrupt, whose relatives are still poor. If they are poor, they are still poor. Suddenly they will not become 1,000 crore revenue giving family with no education, with no business. Suddenly they'll get 1,000 crores. Family members are poor. Mother lives in a small apartment. To a leader who works for the country, to such a leader, if there is anyone who's trying or planning a plot, hatching a plan to cause harm to that such a leader, then you will incur a sin. Druhyatam ragyaha paripalaya manasya bhutani putravat. You are calling some priests, some purohitas for your household puja. There is an aradhana, puja, any samskara. We bargain. With priests we have to bargain. Whereas we will go for a destination wedding, every room will cost us lakhs. For sleeping for one night, we will spend lakhs together. But people, 500,000 people have come for that 1 hour marriage. And for that 1 hour marriage, we need the priest. And with that priest, if he asks 1,000 rupees more, how dare you ask? There will be comments. See, sir, the priest is coming in the car these days. Our children should go in chartered flights. Priests should always walk throughout their life. They should keep walking with a torn bag. They should get down from the bus and they should walk. Our sons should go in a chartered flight. This kind of a mean attitude is going to take us nowhere. So, to a person who has received the services of the priest and refuses to give dakshina to him, samshritya yajna dakshinam satre tam chapalata papam. While giving, can you reduce 500 rupees? 200 rupees? What is the harm in giving something extra to the priest? You are spending lakhs for that room. Why can't you give it to that priest? So there is I'm not talking the current day. Bharata mentions this. So there were people who were cheating priests in those days. That is why he is mentioning. Next he says, Masmakar Shitsata Yudhe. A person who does not adhere to the rules of a war. See, whenever we speak of Mahabharatam, we immediately say, Krishna did not do the right thing. He did not follow rules. Why didn't he follow rules? Because when a woman was menstruating called as Draupadi, they dragged her to the middle of the court and tried to undress her. Was that right? In which rule of a kingdom has that rule been mentioned that if you have won over a lady, first of all, you cannot pawn a lady? In that case, where does it say that you can undress her? All this was conspired by Shakuni, Duryodhana, Dushasana and Karna. So the Lord sought to the annihilation of such forces. So when you do not follow the rules of a yuddham, do not ask me to follow. Don't expect the other party to be just and right when you are not right. So he says, Masmakarishit sadam yuddhe. Next papa, Bharata says, to a person who has forgotten the subtle meanings. See, in Shastra, especially in Vedanta, the teacher will teach you important statements from the Upanishads. You need to understand the meaning, Shabda Padapadartham, word by word, overall meaning, the hidden meaning, Swapadeshar. So, there are many people who will say, Sir, I am free in my house. But if I sit in my house, they will give me some job. So instead of sitting home, I will go for 2 hours lecture somewhere on Vedanta. AC hall, good seat. They will give one water bottle also. Towards the end, they will give prasadam. I will sit, listen, comfortably, forget and come. Then that will also incur a sin, it seems. He says, Nashayatu susukshmartham shastram upadishtam yatnena dhimata. When you listen to Shastram and you don't remember, then that will incur a sin. Now we are all at a fix whether to listen to Ramayana further or not. Next, the one who has never had a glimpse of Narayana, the one with long, large arms. In this avataram, it is Rama. Macha drakshi vyudhabhakvasvam chandra bhaskara tejasam. The one who is resplendent and you are living during the times of Rama and you are not seeing Rama, there will be a sin for that. If you have been having food, here he gives the concept of milk rice. Milk rice, you mix rice with milk and have. You must have heard of curd rice, but there is something called milk rice. You may be wondering, sir, first of all, this is happening in Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh. Shouldn't he have mentioned about chapati, tandoori, roti and naan? Why milk rice is coming there? Because rice was once the staple food of all Bharatiyas. Wheat came later, but wheat is also old. Goduma Chame comes in Yajurveda. Goduma was there, but rice was very important. So rice used to be mixed with milk. Do we have this concept? Yes. In the south of India where crackers are made, Sivakashi, there people around that region will always have milk rice. It's very tasty. So he says, if you consume milk rice without offering to Paramatma, what sin you will incur? Ashanantu payasam kshiram yajna shishta shinasanto muchyante sarvakilbishaihi भुञ्जन्ते द्वित्वघं पापा ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणा. You link that sin. He has listed down at least 8 sins till now, 8, 9 sins. More to go. As I keep narrating every sin, I keep ticking how many sins I have committed. I'm sure the listeners will also be worried. But of course, we try avoiding as much as possible. This is all we can do. We cannot become perfectionists. We can only aspire for perfection, and in that aspiration, only a percentage can be achieved. But how do we get more civilized? Only by listening to Ramayana. Other sins? Next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.